Hi, hello, and howdy. Today's episode 49 of the Shaynanigans Podcast. Thanks for listening and watching and whatnot. Let's see, it's your boy, Moist Raccoon Sheldon here. You know, got the two-tone beard, got random shit on my bed. Would this really be my podcast if I didn't look a little off and then also just have shit just all on my... Dude, you can look. I tried to fucking kind of hide it with my covers, but that's very obviously a laundry basket, and those are very obviously other pillowcases I have yet to put on the pillows. But hey, if I didn't draw attention to it, who would have known? You know, I can't let me get away with this shit. Intro. As it turns out, you gotta have your headphones plugged in to hear the music. Okay, so we're learning here. We've only done 49 episodes of this. I'm still learning how to have a podcast, guys. Oh man, so last episode, you guys seemed to enjoy that. We had our homie Sir Jorge D. Great on, and we kind of got to bask in that. Got to bask in the good old-fashioned tism together, He's a funny dude. Man's got just the best thumbnails in the fucking game. So, like, obviously, if you hadn't checked him out by now, what are you doing? This is gonna be, I feel like this is just gonna be a nice calm before the storm episode, because the next episode we do is gonna be to celebrate 50 fucking autism oversharing fucking cuss word filled episodes, bro, we gotta do something stupid. I got it right here. Let me just boom. Got two of these bitches sent to across the way to Chris and Pat. And also when I was telling somebody like who's gonna be doing this with me, this is gonna be me, my friend Jew, Chris, Pat, and then I realized, like, for a second I could see it in their eyes. They thought I said Chris Pratt, and that's not who we're doing this challenge with. However, they are almost as handsome. I mean, like, added up together, they're probably both just about as handsome as Chris Pratt. But this is gonna fucking suck, man. Like, it's in the shape of a coffin. So if that doesn't tell you how bad it's gonna suck, it's kind of cool though. It's got a little booklet of information, and then you got your little chippy, and then there's rules, dude. There's fucking rules in here. There's wait, where is it? I think it's in the booklet. Let's find out together, dude. Let's just so you guys will have the information. What the fuck? Okay, well, there's supposed to be rules in here, but I guess there's just not. Is it on the back? Okay, fuck it. Well, I'll just go over it from what I remember. There's some kind of challenge involved where you're supposed to go as long as you can. Oh, here it is. Of course, it's on the only other fucking side of the thing. So, no, it's not on here. This is it just tells you what to expect. It tells you what to expect, like spicy hot in your mouth, spicy hot on your face, tears, impaired vision, and your tummy's gonna hurt. That's basically all it says, is like, hey, this isn't gonna be fun for you, so thanks for already buying this and giving us your money. Fuck that shit. But there's some kind of challenge involved to where it's like, if you go 5 minutes without, it's like, we've talked about it before. It's like the fucking it's like the tea little tea thingies from Cracker Barrel, little tea game. All my Caucasity homies know about this, and it's like it's a little game, and it's like if you can go 5 minutes without drinking anything, it says you're like a punk ass bitch. If it says you can go 10 minutes without drinking anything, you alright, but you still kind of a bitch. And if you can go like 20 minutes without drinking anything, it's like, alright, you kind of cool. We're working up towards cool. And then if you can go like 45 minutes without drinking anything, you are the real MVP. So I don't know, bro. I don't know just how far I'm gonna go without drinking anything. I might be a punk ass bitch. I don't know. But I don't know. We did the Hot Ones thing, and that one wasn't that bad. It definitely sucked a few days after. But, we haven't had Pat on in a minute. We've never had Chris on, so that'll be fun. My boy Jew's going to join in. He's never been on before, so it'll be a good time. We'll do it over Zoom. Have a good old time. We're going to die for your enjoyment. It'll be just a grand old time, Also, I was kind of thinking, what else can I do with this? I feel like we can do, episodes over and over again, whatever. Everything's fine. People seem to enjoy them. All 12 of you. I love you. But, I want to do, I don't know what next in line is for, fun stuff, So, I was thinking maybe I could do, a Shaynanigans live. Maybe do it over Twitch or something. Maybe if enough people were down and we could, get a set time, then we could, that could be a fun thing to do, maybe, and I could I could have, activities planned or something. I don't know, man. I do love some activities. Activities, though, are getting real close to being things and or stuff. And as we all know, things and stuff are the fucking worst. So I wouldn't want to, push the boundaries too far. But I could probably have an activity or two. Maybe have a guest lined up. Maybe, maybe get some feedback, in real time and be able to kind of riff off of that kind of stuff. It'll be fun. So, yeah. Also, I realized, I like doing this myself because I don't like to have to rely on anyone. I don't like to have to fucking try to find a time because time zones and you want people to come on and you have to be on, I have to be on so I can be funny and they have to be on so the chemistry will be there together. It's just, there's a lot of variables if you get people on, if it's more than just one person. And I know that's the name of the game, is not everything's going to be, not every single video you do with someone is going to be 100% fucking awesome. That's just how it is. Sometimes you have a fucking weird day or whatever. I don't know. But I do want to I want to switch it up a little bit. I want to have some people on that I don't really talk to that much. I tweeted about it the other day. I was like, there's so many cool content creators that I'm I guess I'm friends with that I talk to on a semi-regular basis, but I never really record with. I never really do anything with. And I think it's about time I either have them on the podcast or maybe we do, an episode of a Showdown Live or some shit. I have a couple ideas for some fun stuff we could do. But so if you guys have any any suggestions for people you'd like to see on this podcast specifically, let them fucking know, because I think I don't know, there's a bunch of people that come to mind, but I think there's definitely a couple that I feel would be better suited, I could have a fun conversation with that would be more entertaining than watching us play fucking Pokemon Showdown or some shit, so that'd be cool. Let's see what we can get going here. Y'all let me know. We'll do the thing potentially and do the whole thing. Also, I had an idea, right? So there's this other podcast I watch, and then they do a Patreon episode where they kind of go over listener stories, and I figured you guys have heard me overshare for way too fucking long, and I'm not going to put it on Patreon. I'm not going to charge you guys money. I don't give a fuck. But I do think it would be cool to either to have a segment of the show or every other show, every 3, something like that, where I could have you guys send in stories. If you guys have some wild shit that happened to you, got some crazy fucked up shit. If you ever roundhouse a pregnant lady, if you ever almost get arrested at school, if you ever got arrested in a field, if you ever fucking have a grandma who has polio or whatever, whatever it could be, because I feel like a lot of the people that listen to this probably kind of identify with it a little bit, probably this might just be me fucking talking out of my dick, but I feel like if you're listening and you like that kind of wild shit, you probably have, seen a thing or two in your life. So hit me up, dude. If you got some funny shit, DM me on Discord, hit me up on Twitter, fucking leave a comment here, obviously don't spoil the cool shit if you want to leave a comment, but let your boy know, and we'll see. Also, I have a couple real life friends I could get in here and probably have some real crazy stories. And the thing is my memory fucking sucks, so I could probably get a couple of my IRL friends in here and then have them tell me stories that I forgot. They could be like, hey, remember that time you did this dumb shit? And I'm gonna be like, oh no, I repressed that. Oh fuck. That would be kind of cool, right? Oh man, what else we got here? So I bought a Venus flytrap, right? And he's over there. I got him. It came in like a little glass jar filled with gel, and it had to you had to wait until it filled the jar, and then you could transplant it and put it in a little pot. And now it's in like a now it's literally in quarantine, dude. When I took it out, I have to leave it in saran wrap, only open it to give it water, and then once it gets big enough to be able to eat flies and shit, I can take it out and I can, it could be a Venus flytrap. But a Venus flytrap is like, it's a plant, but it's almost a dog. It's like if there was any plant that was leaning a little bit close to the pupper vicinity of things, it would be a Venus flytrap. So I need to give it a name, and obviously there's a million puns, and half of them have to do with the word penis, and I don't want to be no basic bitch. And honestly, dude, I feel like I cover a lot of the wordplay here, so maybe it should be y'all's turn. So what should I name my fucking Venus flytrap? I don't know. And like, I'm a firm believer that, and this is probably why I will never have kids, but I'm a firm believer, dude. I'm a firm believer that you shouldn't name your kid until you see them. You shouldn't like be like, oh, it's gonna be a boy, let's name it Charles. Because what if he comes out looking like a fucking Darius? What if he comes out looking like a fucking Steven and you named him Charlie or whatever the fuck I said? Like, how can you know? Because, sometimes people don't look like their names. Sometimes people have names that aren't real names. Hi. But other times people have names and you're like, you don't look like a Helen. You look like a fucking cunt. But I would like to, if I'm going to name it, I'm going to wait until it's like, I can see what it looks like, Maybe it's got some imperfections to it. Maybe it's going to look like fucking Charlie Brown's Christmas tree, and I'm going to have to name it something pertaining to how stupid it looks. But if you guys have anything good, let me know. Because this is a fucking feedback heavy episode. So let me know if you guys have any wacky things. Because I think it's going to be fucking cool. Like, there was a few episodes where there was a fucking gnat in my room that I could not kill. I eventually killed it, and like, it gave me way too much pleasure to finally fucking destroy that little motherfucker. But now, if anything like that happens, I don't have to do anything. He'll just land in my little guy here. He'll just land in little Charlie, and then Charlie's gonna fucking nom his ass up. And no, Charlie isn't his name. That's just the example I used, so that's what I went with. And if I don't get any feedback on this, I'm definitely not naming him Charlie though. Because listen, dude, I don't know a lot of Venus flytraps, but I know he ain't gonna look like a Charlie. Ideally there would be a pun or something in there, but sometimes it's funnier to just be just a normal name. So I don't know. I had a friend who is not my friend anymore, so he's a piece of shit. So fuck him. But he had a he had a boil. On not Jimmy Neutron, on Fairly Odd Parents, there's that kid that had the boil on the side of his face. He had a boil like that, but it was on his elbow, and you have to get it drained every now and then. It wasn't as big. It was maybe like, because that was obviously, that's a fucking cartoon. That was a fucking, a whole big thing. But he had a boil the size of a thimble. And if you're a fucking a Gen X kid and you don't know what a thimble is, I don't know what they are either. Okay, but I know what they look like. If I was about to be like, if you're some stupid Gen X kid and you don't know what a thimble is, and then I realized I also don't entirely know what a thimble is. I know when you refer to the amount of when you refer to the amount of love gravy a man makes, it's usually about a thimble's worth. That's my go-to kind of identifier of the amount of fluid. It's like, it's about a thimbleful. I heard somebody say once it's enough to fill up your belly button, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense. What if you have an Audi? So I think it's about a thimble's worth. And I think it has something to do with sewing. I think they used to put them on their fingers when they were sewing, so they don't fucking like sew themselves to a pair of jeans or something. But that doesn't actually make any sense, because I feel like there's much better things than little ceramic, but like it's like a little tiny fucking cup that is about the size of your pinky, but I don't think that's what it is. I know my grandma collected them. I know old people love dumb shit like that, thimbles and ceramic cats and plates. And what, dude, at what age do you hit when you start being like, I think it's time to collect dumb shit? That's coming from me, the guy with literally a shelf full of Pokemon fucking accessories and plushies and weeb shit and a fucking Morpeko plush, and there's Dragon Balls, and there's a Plank from Ed, Edd n Eddy's over there with his eyes colored in red because he's been smoking weed. There's fucking Szechuan sauce from that when Rick and Morty fucking ruined McDonald's for that week. What else? I got some Game Boys. I got a bunch of bracelets that I used to wear. You know, some Silverstein, some Attack, some Panic at the Disco. I'm over here talking about how dumb old people collect all this dumb shit, and I have an entire shelf of dumb shit. So maybe that's just what it is. Maybe back in the day, they didn't have anime. They had fucking ceramic cats and forks and fucking, like, my mom, I've told you guys this before, but my mom collects cast iron crosses, and it's weird because we are not a religious family. My mom just has a whole wall of cast iron crosses. So if you walk in that house, you'd be like, oh shit, I'm gonna be smited. Smitten? It's not smitten, that's for sure. Smitten is like when you love somebody. That's not, you feel like I'm gonna be smited for cursing in there because there's a whole wall of ceramic crosses. I think the joke I made last time was like, what are you hiding from, you little sinner? But it's a whole big thing. So listen, dude, and this is where shit gets real. I've already talked about jizz, I've talked about cats, I've talked about fucking Venus flytraps and hot chips, but now it's time to get to the real nitty-gritty of the episode. And I'm going to tell you guys about a little thing that me and my buddies used to do called HDS. HDS, 3 letters. It's you know what? I was going to say it's probably, but I'm in charge here, so it's definitely the title of this episode. And HDS stands for Hardcore Drug Saturday. And if you need any more information about what Hardcore Drug Saturday is, let me just tell you, it's a Saturday. Now, bear with me here. It's a Saturday. It's a Saturday where you do hardcore drugs. Couldn't have guessed that one on your own, huh? And now, when I say hardcore drugs, you guys know me. I'm not fucking stupid. Okay, I am fucking stupid, but I'm not like, I never do anything dumb. Okay, that's not a good way to put that. You know what I mean? I'm not irresponsible with my recreational drug use, but back in the day, and it's not like, I don't mean heroin, I don't mean crack, I don't even mean cocaine. I just mean, maybe a little, something a little psychedelic, maybe you got a fucking, you want to see the world, maybe you want to trip a little bit, maybe you want to dance at a Skrillex concert for 8 hours straight, whatever. Now, and I've said this before, Skrillex is not a sober person's band. If you're sober and you're listening to Skrillex, what the fuck is wrong with you? If you're sober and you're like, I really like all these washing machine noises played in agony over each other with that sick beat, who the fuck are you? Who are you, bro? Because that's not... Dude, I feel like people who listen to like Skrillex and shit like that and don't do drugs are like the weirdest people, But anyways, Hardcore Drug Saturday. And this wasn't every Saturday. This wasn't every other Saturday. This was once in a blue moon. We'd send out a text and somebody'd be like, hey, I know a guy with ecstasy. HDS? Well, actually, it started because in high school, we all decided that we were going to roll, which means do ecstasy. And it happened to fall on a Saturday. And it happened to be the most, the farthest we'd gone into the drug world. So we dubbed it as HDS, Hardcore Drug Saturday. And then the tradition kind of continued maybe twice a year, something like that. And not ever since then. It happened a lot more frequently when I was younger. Now it's like, I don't really know. Maybe every now and then, but but fucking HDS, bro. This was a time where people could bond, where there was no fucking guilt or shame or remorse. You would just be in a house with your friends, tripping the fuck out, having a grand old time, So the first time, we all did ecstasy, and my friend worked at Bed Bath & Beyond. And I know that's a weird sentence to say after we did ecstasy, because usually when you say we did ecstasy, the next sentence is like, and then we fucked for 7 hours. But no, my friend worked at Bed Bath & Beyond, which is the opposite of fucking for 7 hours. So we go up to his work that day, and he was working. Real pertinent information there. And he had these they had these keychains for sale of different animals, and you click the little button and it makes an animal noise. And I was like, we're gonna do fucking HDS tonight. I'm gonna get me one of these. I don't even think I paid for it. I'm pretty sure I stole it, or he told me to steal it. I don't know. I don't want to say he told me to do illegal things, but we were all gonna do drugs that night. So who can really where do you draw the line, you know? So I got it, and it was a dolphin. I put it on my keychain. I was like, all right, cool. This is my fucking dolphin, and I'm going to be playing with it all goddamn night. So we start tripping fucking balls, and we're having the time of our goddamn life, dude. It is if y'all haven't done ecstasy before, first of all, I wouldn't really recommend it because it is it's really addictive, and it's really hard to if you don't know what you're doing, it's really hard to like differentiate when it's okay to do it and when it's not, and it's also illegal, so you should never do it. Hey kids, never do drugs, but also sometimes, you know. So we're having the fucking time of our lives. I remember my friend, we're sitting in this big room upstairs, like fucking 20 by 20 room, just fucking ginormous, and my friend has a piece of gum. He throws it across, like they're sitting in the opposite corners of the room so far apart, and he throws it, and the friend just goes, and the gum just lands right in his mouth. It was like maybe it was a mint. I don't know. It was something like small and round like that. Some kind of chewy ecstasy related kind of thing. But he just throws it and it just lands right in his mouth. And we were like, that would have never happened if we weren't on hardcore drugs right now, you know? So it's just little magical things like that. That's your whole night when you're on ecstasy. And it's just fucking great, dude. But I'm tripping fucking balls. I got this dolphin, and you know, you like bright lights and shit when you're rolling. So it made a dolphin noise, and then it also had a little light on it that would flicker blue and white and shit. So I was just like a dumbass. I'm putting it right in my fucking eyes, and I closed my eyes because I thought there was gonna be light in it. But I'm clicking this fucking dolphin and just in my eyes, and it's just making it, you know how the classic dolphin noise, you know. And I accidentally drop it into my glass of water, which one would assume that if you were going to drop a dolphin into one thing that wouldn't hurt it, it would be water. If you drop a dolphin into Jello, it'd probably be like, oh, that's not good for it. You drop a dolphin into battery acid, you're probably like, oh, I probably shouldn't have done that. But you drop a dolphin into water, it's like, oh, that's his natural habitat. He's fine. It's not how it works, boys. So the dolphin then made a weird fucking cracked out like frog noise, and the light stopped working. And that like that's like it became like a tangent thing of like, is this what's gonna happen to my brain? You know, like it started being like instead of the fucking dolphin noise, and I was like, oh god, we probably shouldn't do this too often. But good times, man. Ecstasy is fun as fuck. Also, have you guys ever done salvia? Salvia was legal for a hot minute. It is recently, and when I say recently, I mean in the last 10 years or so, it's become illegal, I think. But they used to just sell it at head shops and gas stations and shit, and you could just buy it and smoke it and trip the motherfuck out. And it's not like K2, it's not like potpourri and shit. It's this weird, it kind of looks like it's like catnip, but for people. It's people nip, is what it is. And you just smoke it out of a pipe or whatever, and it for maybe 2 or 3 minutes, you fucking trip the fuck out, dude, like hard. I remember we went to the woods. Obviously, all the best things happen in the woods. We go to the woods and we fucking smoked this salvia, and I remember like I was sitting on a log that was like laying on its side, because it was, you know, that's where you sit in the woods. There's no chairs. It's the fucking woods, dude. You sit on a tree that used to be alive. So I'm sitting on this fucking log, and I take a hit, and I realize I'm slowly falling backwards, but not at a speed fast enough to where I really have to do anything about it, you know? Like, I'm just very gently like, oh, I guess in like 4 minutes I'm gonna fall down, you know? And but like it hits you, and like you kind of go numb for a second, and then like I open my eyes and I look up, and there's the trail in front of me, and I mean there's the where we're sitting is in front of me, a little small area, and there's the trail to the right, and then to the left is like a clearing, and that's kind of towards the area where we parked our cars and shit. And I fucking look out there, and it's a beach, and there's a starfish standing up on its two legs, and it's playing volleyball with some other kind of fucking thing I can't really see in the back, but I just remember being like, what the motherfuck is going on? And then everyone had a different trip. Everyone had a different fucking crazy thing. We had one friend who, he was laughing and giggling and having a good time. Then he tripped and fell, and it turned into a bad trip when he hit the ground, because he started rolling around screaming something about the hands are grabbing him, something about they're pulling him down, the hands are fucking getting him. And then he rolled into like a thorn bush, and he's like, ah, they're getting me, ah! And then he like stands up, and his fucking face is all bloody and shit, and we were like, okay, time to get out of the woods and stop doing drugs. So it was like a hit or miss. I know another time we did it in just this random park, and we were because half the fun of it is you don't do it all at the same time. You kind of pass it around and you watch each other freak the fuck out. That's half the fun, is fucking watching each other freak out. So I remember my friend hit it, and he had been fucking with us real hard. He had been, kind of making fun of us and shit the whole time. And then he hits it, and he's like coughing, and he's like looking. He goes, "Bird foot cat dog plane." That was his whole sentence of like, that was 100% of the things he said was bird foot cat dog plane. And I remember like laughing so fucking hard, and I was like, I want to remember this forever. So I like wrote it in my phone as a note of like bird foot cat dog plane. So then I would go and look at my phone of like, what did I eat from the grocery store? And I would have to scroll past fucking bird foot cat dog plane to find my grocery list or whatever. But dude, Salvia is fun as fuck. I also, and this is fun here, another HDS was the day Pokemon X and Y got released. For the midnight release, I went with a bunch of people. This was the only time I ever technically cosplayed. I dressed up as Ash Ketchum, and I didn't dress up as Ash Ketchum for this. I was Ash Ketchum earlier that year for Halloween, so in my trunk, I just had an Ash Ketchum costume. Why the fuck not? And my phone case at the time was a Pokedex. I'm meant to be. So, one of my friends, she went as Misty. Another one of my friends, he went as Professor Oak. And we all had a good time. People were taking pictures and shit. It was a fucking grand old time. But there's a Taco Bell right next to the, right next to the fucking GameStop that we went to. There was a Taco Bell. So I went over there and I just bought a large fucking drink. Fucking dumped out the drink or whatever. And then, which seems wasteful. And in my head, I probably could have just bought a drink, and then just took the cup and left. But I, kind of waste a little bit. I probably had a sip or two of Baja Blast. I ain't never been one to turn down no Baja Blast. But, so, I then went and filled the cup full of lean, which, if you didn't know, is, what several rappers have overdosed on and died. So that's how you know it's for cool guys. And I fucking, surrounded by my Pokemon playing nerd friends and their group of friends, and then little kids, I fucking leaned the fuck out on promethazine for the fucking Pokemon X and Y release, dude. So this whole journey of Pokemon on YouTube, it started while I was faded as fuck on lean, bro. Like, I remember my fucking friend, she was like, the one that dresses Misty, she coughed or something, and she was like, hey, let me have a drink of that. And she, like, before I could say anything, because listen, when you're on lean, it takes you twice as long to figure everything out. It's literally called lean because you're always leaning on something, like, you're always like, oh, hold on, I need a fucking break here. But she needed a drink, and she grabbed my cup and took a sip out of it before I could even say, like, hey, I wouldn't, And she's like, the fuck? What did you get to drink? And I was like, oh, it's flat grape soda. Yeah. Because I didn't tell any of them. This was just a fun thing for me to do, And so my friend accidentally drank lean. I don't know, and she's a really, really small, skinny person. So I don't know if that one sip was enough to fucking feel it, but boy, oh boy, did I feel like Pimp C and Lil Wayne. Maybe that's why I like Lil Wayne so much. Maybe that's why I can do his fucking voice, Maybe you take 2 sips of lean and you're just like, yeah, and then you're just doing it, I don't know, but I suck at doing this, and I didn't fucking even cover all the things I wanted to cover today, but that's going to do it for me, guys. Like, subscribe, do all that bullshit. I'll see you guys next week for the Hot Chip Challenge with the homies, and then with episode 51, we will jump back into the general jizz of things. Bye forever. So what do you